Hello and welcome to the Universal Connector Series Part 5. In this video, we will be data mapping a label separator type signal. Label separator type is a signal that has a label, then a separator, then a data value. As you can see here for our demo, we are going to be sending in a label separator type signal via email. So character transmitter ID would be the label, the colon would be the separator, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be the data. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to minimize this email for now and we'll get back to it later. So I have my Bold Media Gateway already opened up and I already created my email connector. So what I need to do next is go over here to data mapping. I'm going to type in my password and click on add. So for this name, I'm just going to call it Email LS, and that's going to just stand for Email Label Separator. And say OK. Next, I need to choose my mapping type. So here is where we're going to select the label separator. So the first one we need to do is going to be separator. So drop down here. And in our email, our first separator was that colon. So I'm going to select colon. Our signal type, again, with the drop down, we have signal, GPS signal, and telemetry. So ours is a BA, so a regular signal. So I'm going to select it. Our event type, SYS is going to be your Manitou Standard System codes. SIA are going to be any standard SIA codes like BA, BR, FA, etc. And CID are going to be any standard contact ID codes like E101, R101, E103, etc. Ours is a BA, so I'm going to select SIA. The next box over here is going to be for email. So since our signal is being sent through as an email, we need to make sure one of these is checked. All of our signal is in the body here, so I'm going to leave this second one here checked. And then come over here to the next step, which is going to be that second separator. Now, we already found out that ours is going to be that carriage return line feed, so I'll select it. If you run into trouble figuring out the characters for your signal, then I recommend using a text editor like Notepad++ to help highlight the characters. For example, carriage return line feed. Next, we'll come down here and map our fields. So if I click on that order 1 and just type in 1 on my keyboard, I'm now going to indicate that first label, which is transmitter ID. I can tab over here to the operations, but you'll see with the drop down there's different options here, but ours is mapped field. Tab over here to the field part and say that transmitter ID is going to equal transmitter ID. So again with the drop down, or you can type it in. So there's our first order. So I'm going to tab all the way back down over to our second line and type in the number 2. Tab over, and that second label was that event code. Tab over. And what I can do is I can do the letter M on my keyboard and pull up that mapped field, tab over and do the letter E, and that's going to fill in that event code. Tab back down, we're going to do our third order, which is the area. Tab over, mapped field, tab, the letter A, we'll pull up that area value, and tab all the way down to our last order, 4. Which was zone. Quickly fill out the rest of this real quick with the mapped field and a Z for zone. And we should be all set. So one thing I did want to point out here, and some of you may be wondering why we only have 2 separators, but in our email it looked like there may have been a space after the colon. Right here, so transmitter ID, colon, and it looks like a space there, which there is. But actually the white space is trimmed at the beginning and ending of a string. So you don't need to worry about that space, or the white space, if you will. All right, so I'm going to minimize that again. And our label separator signal is data mapped and ready to go. So if I can do a file and save, and we're all set and ready to go on to the next step. This completes part 5 of the Universal Connector series. You can view our upcoming videos on our YouTube page or go to boldgroup.com and click on the YouTube icon. For more information, contact your account manager today at sales@boldgroup.com.